I almost feel like I should back out and do the team
Okay.
pan too.
Yep. So this is Scorgan here, with Mutt as going to be doing commentary on these games.
Ew.
So the teams that we're going to be seeing in the first game here
Welcome
is
back to Cabal
Vigilant's
Vision HD. It's a nice state.
Headbutts Reignited
My
versus
focus will be on
Jerra's
the pitch.
an Arcane Mistake.
Weather's okay. Some say it's perfect for playing Blood Bowl. I call it.
Seeing the team pan right now. As you can see, the Headbutts are a combination of Bretorians and Wood Elves. And Jerra is the only team in our league that chose not to go with a mixed team. He is straight Lizardmen. Both teams are going to be starting at roughly 1,200 SPP. And we have the coin flip.
Headbutts won
Yes, Headbutt
and
won
chose to receive.
and chose to receive. And here we go. So we've got the Lizardmen setting up on defense, which was a very fast setup. And Headbutts seems to be... I would expect her to put her linemen on the line and kind of keep everyone back a little bit for the kickoff. She's going with a split line.
Bit of a lull. What are you up to, Bob?
I'm thinking
Could
about
be
what
very
to have
dangerous
for
considering
lunch.
that
Roast
leaves
elf heart
two
or
very strong, perfect defense on the kickoff. So again, Jerry gets to move those guys, so the split lineup really didn't help him. I probably would have left those exactly where they were since they were uncovered, knowing that that was such a short kick.
Yeah, I would have gone for them as well. They have Bob's seal of approval.
I mean, trying to get some aggression, you're dealing with a team that opens up with Fen. So you're not able to make that free movement.
It's a good point.
And again, if I recall correctly, Helmet was the team that invested in two strip balls.
Yes, two of her blitzers have strip ball on them. Also, like to point out that both teams are only starting with a single reroll. Arcane Mistakes, Jerry's team has a normal reroll and Vigilant. Her main player,
need to get rid
her
of the
thrower,
ball. Now there's pressure on them.
the team's namesake, Headbutt, actually has
Following up,
leader.
moving to get the
So
knockdown
she's
next.
going to need to keep that one on the field if she wants to have that for the second.
Right. So already burning the reroll, trying to get control of that ball. I feel like it's a mistake burning a reroll when you only get the one on turn one. You've got plenty of time. Other thing to note is Vigilant, no apothecary. Jerra, no apothecary.
Be enough to come out on top.
I believe that is accurate.
That
That is true.
Here we get a very early serve, if Dauntless allows. Both down instead.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but you still have him pretty well trapped against the side, because he's not going to be dodging. He's going to have to block it. Some very quick turnovers here.
Bigger they are.
And I mean, that's kind of the downside of starting with so few rerolls. And again, Finn coming into play against the Proxigor there. Preventing the follow-up to... And here we go. Moving the ski back over for the assist, so he can still get the 2 die to get him off the sideline.
That's the way. Get him early.
On the unleveled up blitzer.
Yes. We got the ball free, and here we go. Got just a stun on the peasant. Not the peasant, the guy named Peasant.
I do seem to be just a hair sliver behind you, but that's not an
And
issue.
Skink drops the ball.
A skink, without getting a sure hand skink up there, I see he invested in sure feet on a
Right.
skink instead of investing
And
in
we have
sure
a-
hand for a ball carrier.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but we have a interception by the Saurus there.
Make Hadith, yes. I believe that was a 6-up required. Yeah.
That would have been a 6-up. Pretty much all interceptions without any skills or higher agility are going to be 6-ups. for the most part.
That's it. Throw the ball in their face. That range
With
they'll
that
go
ball
down
position,
to
that is
cricket.
Tackle.
greatly favoring the Lizards to make a point.
Yeah, especially
Get
if
on
you
the
can get a
board.
couple more people around to protect, because I mean it's pretty hard to take down a skink. I mean not a skink, a Saurus.
Yeah. Strength 4, AV9.
Yeah. With block.
And plenty of assistance over there.
So he's closing the cage with some skinks on the bottom, which isn't great, but at the same time having anything there prevents the lucky blitz. And pretty much only chance would be to go with the War Dancer leap up, jump up, just the hit, which doesn't require the blitz action. It would be, double red, but
Yeah, the lack of getting decent assists over there definitely hurts that. Doesn't take much to cancel out.
so she went with the dodge out, of course, dodging away from tackle. Didn't go too well.
Not a great use of a character with leap. I know it's pretty much the same thing, but it gets you in a slightly better position, personally.
They're gathering around that lone player. One halfling from the second.
And the ball's got some movement.
Yeah. He's got several people who he can bring down to continue the cage.
There's Peasant KO'd on my end. Now, if you had the option of stalling against effectively an Elf team, they're going to get their turn 8 before you, as it was their drive. Seem worth it?
I mean, I would try to stall a little bit, but obviously this is you taking away the ball from their kickoff. So you're still going to get your own kickoff in the second half. So, I mean, you definitely want to get the score. I'm not against just, actually running it in, but if you could delay, I mean...
This is going to be decisive.
I mean, how many times are you going to roll stick on an interception?
Yeah, there's that one reroll coming into play to reroll the double skulls. I would have liked that. I didn't like where she just stopped that War Dancer. If she had stopped him behind Key,
Push it.
that would have kind of given him to be able to cover what basically happens right here. Knock those two guys down and he had the open path. If he was standing there, it would have at least been another block or blitz to get him down. But we have a score.
Touchdown under their belt. We can finally get this match stopped.
Ops for the early score.
Interesting.
I say early, about, what is that, halfway through, turn 6?
I think we're going to have 4 turns left for her to go ahead and grab.
So, none of the knocked out
And of
players
course,
seem
you know,
to have
Wood
awoken
Elves on
in
the
time
team,
for
so
the next down.
Scoring
That
fast
must be
is
one dream there.
very possible.
One team is lighter play. Not a
So
significant
Jerra's team remains
impact of the game.
effectively 2 players up as
Despite
a
being in the
knockout
lead, this team now
from
has
Peasant
moved the ball to the losing squad.
remains out.
Get it back.
And
Kick off.
he gets a reroll. Very deep kick.
I think we should be
Good.
synced
He's
now.
got the ball.
Okay.
It's always embarrassing when they fumble that bit.
So we got Wood down, knocking it down. Darksbane.
A 1 on the Dauntless, but fortunately the assist makes up for it.
What are your feelings on Dauntless? I mean,
I like
On the
Dauntless
edge of the field.
if it is sort of a focal point on a character. Like, I'm not trying to give it a bunch of assists. It is that character that is meant to be frustrating, because your Troll Slayer, as an example. As I think if off head top, they naturally come with Dauntless.
that's accurate.
Thematically, it's a fantastic skill. Mechanically, it's woefully underutilized in a very guard spammy sort of meta. Why would you need Dauntless if you have, plus 1,000 strength from your buddies being nearby?
Right. See, I kind of see it feeding off of guard very, very nicely. Because, with Dauntless, if it triggers, and it should trigger, 5 out of 6 times, you match whatever strength is. So if you've got that guard next by, or an assist, then you instantly have a 2-die block. We have the safe throw going off here.
Safe throw with the intercept attempted,
But,
and the Elves doing elf shit. Just dodges out
Don't you think?
for a turn 7. Come on, screen, catch up to me here.
As we go
Should
into
be-
the
Yeah,
final
turn
quarter
7
of the game.
score.
yep. And knockouts remain.
We're about to start the next
Turn.
down, and none of the KO'd players have woken
Okay.
up. The lazy
So yes, so
They're short
Jared
one
does
player.
have 2 turns.
That's a gap that can be filled.
With
This needs to
proper
be a hell of
placement and a
catch.
little luck, you can score with Skinks in 2 turns.
I mean, even better, you got the skink that has the extra go for it via,
True.
or not the extra go for it, but the extra reroll.
Yeah. And this defensive setup here gives a lot of
That is a
room
lot
for
of space.
placement.
He gets another reroll, which 2 rerolls, 2 turns left for your half. That shallow kick is just, as a steely passer player myself, I love shallow
Loose
kicks.
ball. Is it dangerous?
Yes,
The
I
player needs
definitely
to
do.
secure it.
Forces
Because
the
if that had been a
opponent
blitz, that ball's gone.
When the match was over, the Elves
See how much use these war dances get out of the invested jump up. the sidestep is definitely helping. I avoided a surf back turn 6. Getting quite a lot of little blue men around the ball, and rolls a 1. Here's the reroll. Double 1s.
He tries to secure the ball.
This player forgot his hands in the changing rooms. Oh, dear. Someone's getting fired in the morning.
Jump up succeeds,
And of course,
but
with
stops the motion of the Wood Elf.
with it being turn 8 for both teams here, there's really no chance for a score other than a very long pass to Darkbane. Would have to be an incredibly lucky pass.
At this point, you're just hoping for some removals. Hitting the tandem out. Ooh. Securing the removal of the namesake Headbutt. I believe that was no long-term effects injury. And we go into the half.
Yes.
Going into the half, 1-1.
When the match was over,
Get over here so I can hit pause. As we come out of the, I will note, Peasant did come back from knockout status. Are you wanting to pause after the kickoff, or?
Yeah, we'll pause momentarily here. I'm basically, as soon as they run out, first chance I get, I'm going to be pausing to give my feelings on the first half here.
hey, it's a fresh start. Carnage
Just
can
pause
start
it there.
all over again.
So overall, I kind of see both teams playing very well. Jerra could have possibly stalled a little bit longer before scoring, but it really only took 2 turns to score back regardless. So even delaying 2 more turns could have really put him in a bad situation. But basically, now we are going into a 1-1 game where he possibly could have stalled it out and just scored with the ball being kicked off to him. Other than that, I mean, the rerolls are definitely coming back to bite both teams.
The leader is out. Helmet does not have
Correct.
any rerolls for this half.
That's
He's
an
also
excellent
lower on
point.
fame.
Right.
I lost the track, but I believe, yeah, Jerra invested in that one fan factor, and it's come up now twice on the initial kickoff and this one here.
All
He
right.
has filled her stadium with his fans.
I mean, that's the way it works sometimes. I'm also noticing that it hasn't come into play yet, but Jared does have a 12th man with an extra skink.
Yes.
That so if he does wind up losing his skink here, he does have a backup, so he could play a little bit more risky with the skinks in the second half here.
Should be fouling every now and then. Something to make use of it.
Yeah, I would love to see some fouls here in the second half. But we're going to go ahead and start the second half here.
All right.
They should replace that player.
I'm a little ahead of you, I believe. Once they hit the kickoff little pop-up, I'll hold it there to sync up. Let me know when you see kickoff.
Right, we're still moving players right now. Jerra is setting up.
Here's kickoff on my end. We get Dorado Wolfsbane with an injury via throw rock. to start the second half. I believe that is.
Okay, there's the
Oh,
kickoff for
Jerra's?
me. Throw a rock, skipping that,
Okay.
starting.
Now, that is one of his Saurus's. A stun on that right wing is a great boon. Finn helping.
Yes. I was about to make the comment that I didn't really like the four linemen up there,
That's what he'd say if he could.
but I mean, it
Let's take a quick look
turned
at
out to be okay
Yes, the unmistakable
because of
sign
the
of a player's heart.
And that is her other thrower removed.
yes.
Right, Chuck. I
So
smell.
both throwers are now injured for the rest of the game. And the
Are
Skinks
burning a
are
reroll?
failing to pick up the ball again.
Double
with the
ones.
reroll.
I strongly feel that Sure Feet was a poor choice in this coach's recruitment phase.
I mean, I definitely would have lost the one fan factor and upgraded that, because the general would have cost him 30 instead of 20, since they don't have general access. But I definitely would have liked one player that has higher chances of picking up the ball. I mean, it wouldn't have changed all of these, really.
Because they were, ones are ones.
Ones are ones, but he still had the reroll. You get the free reroll with the sure hands.
Yeah. So already heavy commitment by Coach Vigilant.
Yeah,
Her
all
entire
commitment.
team. To be fair, she is down now, effective 3, down 2 on the field at the moment.
Right.
As we know, Elves can be very slippery. Tackle coming into play here for a stun.
Saurus.
Yes.
Not what you'd expect.
Another failed pickup, but it scatters into a skink.
Scatters into a catch. That's one way to do it. This is one of her. This is one of the strip balls. Not the greatest of bounce, but definitely getting very scrummy here in the middle, or not the. Excuse me, over on the end zone.
Very dangerous here for the Lizard, because I mean it's right there to be just picked up and scored.
Turn 11.
I'd really like to see him get some of his own
Yeah.
skink and Saurus's and Proximors down that direction.
Oh, and that bounce.
Oh, double bounce.
All right. So, something we noted live, and our note here and for the replay, it's turn 11. The entire line of scrimmage and his scoring threat did nothing.
Yes, all of his skinks, I mean his Sauruses, with the exception of one, are downfield, just standing. He does finally knock down the last lineman, but rather than go ahead and moving those players to get them into position, he went with the hit and the attempted pickup, which is another turnover.
So now we're talking 2 turns of no motion from your anchor.
I mean, really, technically, you got 3 turns that, I mean, 2 turns they didn't do anything, but...
Can the player force possession away from the ball?
Now we get the jump up, dodge out, a grab.
Touchdown is near.
Not sure how I feel about that placement. I mean,
you had the potential to get a little bit of a cage there.
Alright, at least that the one Saurus that is active is currently screened.
See, I didn't like that placement there. I would have liked him to continue
One more over.
just a little bit more.
Well, he's one over now.
But then again, the blitz here I thought was used wrong. I would have liked him to use one of his Sauruses off the line to blitz up into the line peasant.
So yeah, it was 2 turns, but now he apparently has realized he has more players and more to do. I think more importantly, he just hasn't turned over on his 3rd action of the run. Said dodge and stunty fail him.
And he still has another Saurus all the way downfield that had taken out Butthead. I have a feeling he may not even realize it with the way Blood Bowl 2 kind of hides those players down there like a chuck. There is the double dodge for the score.
That touchdown could be the one that brings victory.
Both throwers out. The knockout stays out. Still no significant armor breaks on the way of the Elves, which, I mean, shock. Not really getting that many hits in on Skinks, and not really breaking AV9.
We're obviously outnumbered. Seems impossible.
How do you feel about the Magic Dome Stadium?
I think it works really well for passing teams. Because obviously, you know, locking in the ability so you know you're not going to get like heavy rain or snow or anything to affect your throws is very helpful for me. And I even like it a little bit on teams that have a lot of AV7 because the scorching heat, when it comes into play, you know, everybody on the team has to take an injury roll.
Speaking of, we get a stun on Pleb.
Yep, I reckon that's what he'd say if he could talk.
Now I do recall this at the time when we saw this live, the whole sideline cage that he kind of did. I didn't really care for.
Finish in the public.
It would have been better as a screen.
Well,
Absolutely.
the thing is, he starts with the 4 players around the ball, right? And then he decides to go ahead and try to pick it up with one of them. I would have preferred that he just leave the skinks right where they are and move the other skink over and try to pick up the next turn.
Here we get the first ball scattered.
Not a wise place to end your turn on the border of the pitch.
And the jump up eats a tackle.
Well, last time that happened, it took 3 days to piece the body back together.
Okay. Just a hair behind you, but not much. Because there was the stunty dodge that just got knocked down for me.
And, a little greedy on the part of Mikadeth.
A little bit. But again, you know, already up a score, turn 15. At this point, even what she did there, just literally moving the ball deeper into his side of the field, makes a big difference because this right here was his only way was to get that pass. Again, I know Jerra was very tilted with the fact that his skinks refused to pick up the ball this whole game for him. But the ability to just kind of pick up the ball, move a little bit closer to potentially get a short pass would have increased the odds, but still.
Okay, so the only armor break to happen against an Arcane mistake the entire game was the thrown rock at the start of half.
To get the
to knock that Saurus down.
That is true. And we've got one of his skinks that got the MVP, so he's one SP away. And same thing, one of the Blitzer's son got MVP, putting him just 5 points away. Um, Overall, I really liked the interception for their. I think that was one of the highlights of the game. As far
It
as
definitely gave the Lizards more of a chance than the Skinks did.
Mhm. I'm looking at the die rolls here for just checking to see, like, his pickups were 25% for the game. Only 3 successful pickups and 9 failures. But was 100% successful on all his boneheads with all of
I was
those.
gonna say he did make 11 rolls for that. Didn't fill a
I've
single
always
one.
been a fan of Orchidas. They sell a rather fetching line of t-shirts.
Yeah, and all succeeded on all 10 of his um, armor rolls, and quite a few of those were against skinks as well. So that was very good. Other than that, I think overall, very good first game for both coaches. I know Jera probably was. I know for a fact he really didn't like this game. Neville was definitely not in his favor. But even that, I think it was a good showing for both coaches.
I mean, if you look at just the sheer number of dice, Jared was able to make Vigilant roll. You got Vigilant with rolling 23 ones in this game. That's an immense. Fortunately, most of those, or fortunately for her, most of those were, got re-rolled because of dodge. I'm sure there was one from safe throw, etc. I'd have to double check that throw. Whereas check the dice Jer through, he only really had 12 ones. They just all happened to be his pickup rolls.
That's true.
Very good
All those
showing.
ones and twos. Yep. And that is where I'm going to go ahead and end this. Tune in shortly. We'll be commentating on our other game, which should be loaded up to YouTube
Ah, the Guild
almost
of
at the exact same
Bandits and
time as this one.
Affiliated Trades.